Hello everybody. Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at the ancient iSequence HD. It's another one of the apps I've been digging around in. So this came out all the way back in 2010, initially 2010, and it's been updated not too long ago. I think it was updated a couple of months ago for iOS. There was a crash load in the song, so BeepStreet. Now BeepStreet, of course, this was before Drambo, obviously. So BeepStreet, the makers of Drambo, developed iSequence, and at the time it was really, really great. It's a bit clunky now, but yeah, you can play your notes in via Midi keyboard as well. I've got the little key step here. But what this does, which was kind of unique at the time and is not a million miles away from Electron's sample locking, not parameter locking, you can't parameter lock, but you can sample lock with this, which means that any of these little squares here, now basically it's monophonic. In loop 2 here, you'll see that I have these three notes playing, and if you switch poly mode on and play, it will record over 3 tracks. Okay, so that's how it deals with polyphony. But any of these little squares in the grid can have a sample from any of the instruments or kits. It doesn't have to be the same one. So for instance, in this first bunch of in this first sequence running along the top, you'll hear that there, if we go to our mixer here and I will solo the drum track and play it, you'll hear 3 different sounds: the kick, some hi-hat, and that little beep beep. And if I scroll around my sets here, the ones I've got loaded, I have 3 sets loaded. This is the hyper kit. So if I make sure, I would always suggest you make sure that if you do use this ever, switch record off, because what happens is it will, if I have record switched on and I hit one of these, it will place this kit, it will place this sound into this. Now, if I go onto this track here, I can so say for instance, I wanted to put that snare into this slot, I would just do this, make sure recorder's on and just hit it, and you'll see it insert it into that slot. So now I'll put that in there. So this is basically sample locking, which is opens iSequence up massively, of course. Let's go back in. Now we also have one of the greatest sound sets ever assembled for an app ever. Now this is your mixer section and your effects section, and you can send either A, B, C, D or E effects slots here to either. You can send one effect to one track, sort of thing. So you'll see it says there set. It's set. This track 3 is set to B. Track 4 is set to B, and track 5 is set to B, because it's those stabs. I wanted the same effect on each of those chords, you know. And you'll see that also that the track 3 is being sent to B as well, which is also the delay. Okay, now another thing that this is, it's only just been, it's a bit, like I said, it's a little bit clunky. I'm going to set up a new session so you can see how you do that. It's very easy. To save a session, you just go to Song here, and you go, all right, save, and I'll just change the title of it first. So I'll just call it LS1 for live stream 1. I won't need to put the author in. I'll just hit this, and then I'll just hit save. Song saved successfully. Okay, and you'll see it there, LS1. Now if we want to create a new song, we obviously just press new song. So let's do that, shall we? Let's press new song. Current song will be removed. Yes, that's fine. But it's still in there because if I go to my song now and I wanted to put it back in, it's there. I can just load it back in. Okay, so these are your tracks, right? They are not instrument exclusive. That means that you can put a drum kit on here and then put any sound from the kit you've selected anywhere on this grid you like. Like I said, it's like sample locking. It is sample locking, basically. It's very cool. So you have lots of options. You have automation stuff going on. It's a bit weird, that is. So you can automate anything. You have access to your sample page as well. You can automate anything. If record's on and you move a dial, it's going to automate that dial. Okay, so just be aware. If record is on here, every time you press a note, it's going to place it into this first slot, whatever it is. There's nothing in here, but you see the note is changing here. So to clear that, we just hit clear and it'll take away. And I'm going to switch record off and go and load in a set. So just tap set here, and at the moment I have all the IAPs installed. Now the app costs a ridiculous £2.49 to buy, and then the IAPs are like £1.49, and there are tons of them. There are tons of IAPs. There's probably about 8 or 9 different complete sets here. So we get like the internal one you get when you buy the app for £2.49, and you can sample the sounds just by now. I'm telling you, the samples are brilliant. They really, really are good. So let's just say, for instance, let's say, okay, well, what's this Hyper 909 kit? To load one of the instruments in, you just choose the instrument. You're only hearing the kick there, but it's a full kit. And hit set. And now you have that full kit loaded in. Okay? Still doesn't mean that you can't place other sounds from other kits anywhere you like on this grid, as long as it doesn't overlap one of the ones you've already put in. So choose the instrument you want, and there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can switch record on and then tap it again, and you'll see it'll just load in. So we could just go like this. Oops. Sorry. And then we could say switch record off. That's important to remember. Otherwise, you'll keep putting notes in all over the place. So let's put this clap sound in the second slot. Switch record on, and well, see there. But you can move around. It's not going to move anywhere. So we've got this now. Go this. So we put that in there. Actually, I'm going to remove that one, clear, and place it in the right place. There, like this. And now we've got this. Now, if we want to add another kit now, we just go here. Now, this is also very, very, very important, right? Super important. If you go and just go set another kit, like for instance, let's do this. I'm going to go, oh, right, I'm going to go to track 2 now, right? You think you're on track 2, you go set. I'm going to choose this FM kit and go set. This is now the FM kit, listen. All right, and you'll be thinking, well, what, how, why, who, what, and the why now, is it why? So it's going to go back in here to set. Choose my Hyper 909 kit, press set. To change the kit, okay, so you've got the kit sounds to put in. This is important, very, very, I can't emphasize this enough. You press the up button till you see number 2, set new. Okay, so it's asking you to set a new instrument. Hit set, and then just choose, I don't know, let's choose another kit, yeah? Let's choose the space kit. Hit this, hit set. And then we can make sure that's as off because it will put a note in. this one. I'm going to put in, I'm going to switch on. No, actually, I'll show you how you record this in by, you know, instead of entering a note in. So the other way to do this is, now also as well as a loop button here, but we only have one. Block, so we don't need to put loops in yet. Right. So if we press play, it's going to track along, and if we press record, you'll see it's tracking along as well. But we can have it track along anywhere. It doesn't matter. Now have record off, and you can have a practice. Hit record when you're ready. Wait till it comes round. Okay. If you want to go into your mixer here and add some swing or shuffle, if you like, do that. We can. I don't like this. I don't like the, and I don't think there's any way to change it. I prefer linear knob control instead of rotary. But there you go. That's just a thing for me. Now mixing. We can obviously mix here. But for this second one, this little I'd like that a little bit louder. So unless I do this, which I can of course, actually I will do that, but I could put a compressor on here. Now to set an effect, we have a filter, a delay, a filter, another filter. I'm going to press set, and I'm going to choose a compressor. Okay, so I've got a compressor here now, and I'm going to set C, which is the compressor, to this second track. So, and I can now control the now I've got better control over my mix. But yes, it came out in 2010. 2010. I'm going to put an EQ on this kit as well. So first in number D here, I'll choose, there's me EQ. And let's see, I'll set this to make a lot of difference really, but there you go. But never mind, it doesn't matter. I might use that for something else actually. That doesn't sound great to me. I might just send the kit to the compressor as well. Well, that's quite nice actually. Okay, so we'll leave that at that for now. We shall go back to our main screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this pattern out. I can have the pattern just repeat, or I can clone it. I'll just clone it. And now I've got two patterns, and you'll see they'll go backwards and forwards. So let's put something else in. Let's put some sort of, let's put a bass in. Remember to set a new instrument. Let's stop that. That's live record. You put a set of new instruments, just go up till you see the next number that says new. So we can set this now, and that's quite. So I'm going to go to another bank of sounds. So I'm going to move up to Synthology. Now, like I said, there's legacy sounds, which are from the very, very old version. Then there's MIDI. You can set MIDI out as well. Beat elements. So these will be loads of different types of, you got kicks and all sorts of loops and stuff that you can use. Okay, loops. Loops work a bit strangely, so nice. Acoustic. I'll put that stereo bass in there. So again, once you've selected your instrument, you just press set, and now your bass is the selected instrument. But see what's happened there? Because I'm gonna have to take that out. Look, I've recorded that bass now into this slot. Listen, we don't want that in there. So I'm going to clear that, move down to my next lane, and then I'm just going to, well, see. So let's play it. Right. Now I'm running over 2 bars here. So I'm going to loop the first bar. Now you see how that's sustaining. To stop that happening, if you want it to be a shorter note, you select another slot and hit stop note. So I'm going to clear that. And I'm going to take that stop away as well. You have a metronome as well if you need it. Let's record. Stop record, take record off so you're not accidentally overwriting anything. I'm going to clone it. I'm going to take this one and delete it. I'm going to clone this one again and make sure I'm on loop, so I'm just working on the one loop section. I'm going to go to number 4, set something for this. Have a look at something else. Trance waves, maybe. Well, that's nice. That one. Set. So. Now I could either choose to put this on another track, or do something really clever. I'm going to choose this one slot here, which is the first, right? And I'm gonna, so hit record, and I'll put this on track 3 now along with the bass. So if I want it to be another one and I want it here, and I go, well, I can't put it there, there's a bass note there on the first one of those, but there isn't in this one. I'm gonna select that one and put it there. Now where it shares the same track information, it's neither here nor there. This is sample locking. So now I've got 4 different instruments, but I'm only using 3 tracks, and you can, like, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Right, so let's just play this. clone this one. And add some more stuff. Now at any time I want, make sure you switch record off, because you'll record stuff in and it'll freak you out. Anytime I want, I can go and look at any of the other ones I've already got. Might be and start just slapping a few extra notes in it. So I can put a few in here. So like, okay, well, like that. I think I'll go and save it just in case. So just hit save. Okay. Now you can also export your WAV files. Back in the day you had to export it to iTunes, but now you can just export it to your Files app or wherever you like, an audio share or what have you. So let's we've got these 4 instruments. If we want to play it as a track, right, you can do this. This is how you build up your song. So listen, we're on a loop, right? But each block is 2 bars long, but there's a way to stop that as well by using pattern break. So if I choose any slot somewhere like here, there for instance, and or there, doesn't really matter, it's the whole thing, and I put record on and put pattern break in, we might need to put it somewhere else actually, but you can set it up so it is polymetric, polymeter, but per side of block. All right, let's see. If I take loop off now, it'll play through. And then it'll go back. So, for instance, okay, so well, I want the first one to be, so I'll just clone that first one again. And let's see what have I done here. Yeah, clone it again and clone it again, and then go to number 4, which is, and I'll clone this one. Is this one the same? Yeah, I'll clone that another 2 times as well. So clone and clone, and now we'll have a more of a song sort of thing. But you can go on and on. You can have like loads and loads of them. Now you could go in now and say, right, okay, well, I'm gonna number 7, which was a clone of this, but it's just before that new part. Let's add in some stuff from maybe the hyper kit. So for instance, let's make sure recorder's off, and let's put a few extra bits and pieces in here. So let's put one in here in our last kind of bar, just to fill things in. I'm going to hit record. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, record. I'm going to put one in there. I'm going to put one in here. Remember, we can fill these up anywhere we like. This is what I'm trying to get at here. Oh, well, yeah, we could put that clap in there, and in there, and in there, and there. So now you'll get like a bridge, but only in this one you'll see, because it remembers. So a break, sorry, a fill. And this one will have our fill in. I've got an extra one in here, so this one I'll delete. Yeah, so maybe I'm not sure now. You have to keep track of what you're doing. There we go. So number 9 I can clone. So this is clone to number 10 now, and let's add something else here. Let's go make sure record is switched off. We don't want to be adding stuff in accidentally. This is again key. You have to keep remembering. Let's go and find an empty slot number 5. So let's press set. Let's have a look at listen to some other bits and pieces you get. Like I said, you get loops. Loops work a bit strange, and I'll try and show you what I mean. First of all, it's best to, I think they don't time stretch. So you have to kind of, you can import your own loops and samples, by the way, from audio sharing that now, no problem. I don't think they time stretch, so you kind of need to find, this is the chip tune one. So many really great sounds in here. Did you ever use this, Russ? Right, let's go with Funny Farm. This is cool. No, it's only £2.49p. Came out in 2010, so it was updated a couple of months ago. Pretty cool. And I think that's it. So there's 12 packs in all. So let's see if we can put this conga dub in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it as the thing. Or that might be fun. It's only to show you. I don't really want to put this in, but so I'm going to press set and make sure this is on loop just for now. But what I'm going to do is choose this slot here. I'm going to make sure. Let me just before. Yeah, I'm just going to hit record and put this in there now. So if I press play now, yeah, it's in time, so can't believe it actually sounds all right. I'm going to send it to the compressor though. Okay, now here's the weird thing, and this doesn't always work, right? So it may be a bug, but I seem to remembering it not always working back in the day. So you've got this loop, right? Here's the strange thing, right? We can go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the beginning of the song and see what happens. If I just turn these down apart from the loop, right? So we've got the loop will be the loudest thing when it comes back around. This is strange, right? This is weird how they did this, but there you go. It works sometimes, but not always. So if I press play, let's go back to our main screen. If I press play, obviously the loop isn't there until we get to block number 10, right? So we'll go back to block number 1 and press play. So there'll be no loop. I'm going to switch loop off, sorry, so it tracks along. Here's our little fill. I'm just going to loop that, right? But when it goes back to the beginning, this loop will carry on playing. Listen. Right? The way you're supposed to stop this is you're supposed to end the loop at the end of the bar. So, for instance, here, I would want that loop to finish there. Right, so it doesn't, if you're using it to loop around, I mean, normally you'd just go, okay, well, I want that loop there because it's part of my thing, and then I could just take it. So if I clone this now, sort of thing, if I was doing this, I went, I'll clone it, and I'll clone it again, and I'll say, right, okay, stop this record, take that loop, clear that loop, go back to number 10 where the loop starts, but the loop will carry on, listen. No loop now, but the loop's still there, right? You stop this by going to the end of where you want that loop to stop. So this last section, right? Select a slot and hit stop note. Okay, stop note. And theoretically, you see, it puts this little thing in there. Theoretically, and you can, by the way, you can step through all these with this, but theoretically, that should stop the loop at this point. We'll see if it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so let's go back to just before where the loop comes in. That worked that time. That's good. Sometimes it doesn't work. I'll get to my last bar. So stop the loop, that's good. I can now start to add some more bits and pieces in just for fun. But anyway, you get the idea. It's a pretty cool groove box, and the fact that it exports perfectly and gives you like a perfect looping drum track, if you like, or sequence or whatever you've created. I mean, some of the couple of the demo songs in here are really great. It just kind of shows you how good BeepStreet were back in the day. How good Jarek was at making apps, even then before before Drambo, he made iSequence. But the cool thing is, he updated it a few months ago to fix some song loading bugs and stuff. Which, talking of which, I'm going to hit save. Okay, song saved successfully. And he even put a video up a few months ago. And I was looking, like, what I've been doing is trying to find all these old apps. I've been going back about 6 or 7 years, 8 years on my channel and just seeing what there is, and just seeing how absolutely crap I actually was. But back in the day, it was okay, Mind you, a lot of people think I'm crap now, so. So let's choose another instrument, shall we? Make sure record's off. We don't want record on because you like making mistakes. But let's just choose. So we don't need to worry about selecting things. We can have this anywhere we like. It doesn't matter. We're just selecting a new sound set. So we're going to go up. It's number 6, new. And so they're just brilliant. Really, really, really great stuff. Kick drum, chip tunes. There's a lot of sounds in the Synthology one that I've got, a really nice acoustic one as well. What's in this percussion? Let's see. Let's just set the percussion. Make sure it goes off. So remember, we can record in live. Yeah, it's super cheap. The IAPs are like £1.49 or something, but they are well worth it to get the extra sounds. Let's just have a play. Remember to have record switched off all the time when you're just playing around, otherwise it's a nightmare. That sounds nice. That'll do. So again, we'll just press record on. Make sure record is armed. This is the key thing, but make sure you turn it off again. I mean, it's a pretty rigid sequence here, you know what I mean? Or we could go and have a look at the mixer. Maybe we could put some of that delay to these. It sounds a bit off, but it actually sounds all right with it. Now, it also has this really nice slow function. Now, I'm guessing this isn't for kind of performance purposes. I think it was probably more so you've got time to enter notes in, because it can be a bit, if you're doing it live, but it's still nice. Listen, it's hit slow, it goes half speed. It's got that, you can really hear the swing. Sounds quite nice. Sounds like reggae. See, it doesn't pick up properly all the time. Now, you can also choose, you do have, if you go into options, this sample menu, you can change samples out, you can edit samples, you can import your own samples. So for example, you could go import, and you can import anything you like. So you could go and import one of whoever's samples, one of mine. Oh, the sample pack for the patrons coming, I think probably it's almost done. I've got about 4 more psychoacoustic one shots to make, and that sample pack is done, and it will be on Patreon in a couple of days. I hope you enjoy, because I know most of you are a patron, so I think you'll like it. It's very cool. It's very cool for you to use. Anyway, so yeah, you do that. You can select your samples that way and import them in. And also exporting to audio share works very cool as well. So that being said, I think that's about it. There's nothing really else you need to worry about that I haven't covered. Is enough here to get you. It's a blast of an app. It really is. So what I'm going to do is, while you say ta-ra to each other, as always, I will just play this. I'll let it come back on itself. I'll let it like re-loop around a couple of times because it's not very long. And I still had another 4 complete empty tracks to play with. Oh no, sorry, not 4. Maybe 4. Let's see. Yeah, I had another 4. I've used 4 tracks, loads of different samples, and put different samples into different slots, which was the kind of it was revolutionary. I don't even think back in the day. I don't even think. Well, maybe Electron were doing it with the what was it? The 2 older ones. They have the Octatrack and the other one. But you know, for having it on the iPad, sample locking was absolutely brilliant. It's not parameter locking; it's different. But sample locking, that's what that is. So it's very cool. Yeah, I like it. It's there's more old stuff coming as well, guys. I've found some more old apps that are really interesting as well. It's a blast from the past. What is nice about this one is the fact that it's still only £2.49p. Jarrah hasn't said to himself, "Oh, right, I'm gonna put this up now. It can be £8.99 or £9.99 in line with other stuff." This is very similar to a tracker, Dave. As you can see, you choose a note and you choose what goes into that note. Make sure you have record switched on with your instrument or whatever. Another great thing is the remarkable sample sets you get for, I don't know, £1.49p each. They are really, really, really good. They're really exciting. I mean, they're interesting sample sets, and you can go on. You can add like tons and tons of samples. You could fill up every single little slot if you wanted to. Each block is limited to 2 bars, but you can clone, copy, as you've seen for projects. You want to save your project, you literally just go in and save it. Okay, it's done. Here's another interesting thing. You can export all. So export everything as a WAV file or Midi, which is good for the back in the day as well. You can export a selection as Midi or audio. It was really, I think it was exciting back in the day, wasn't it? Like 2012, 2013, everything was new and fresh, and it was all, I think we spend a lot of time moaning about stuff now, but back in the day, it was just like, look at this, it's brilliant. And don't forget as well, that then there was no real connectivity. Audio Bus had only just started, I think in 2012. And it was so exciting and fresh. And then, but now we expect everything to be as it is. And so we should, as our prices increase, we should expect more for our money and, stuff like that. But there you go. Oh, and I'll have to do IK Oscillator again. I like that as well. I never even thought of that till Russ just mentioned Korg. You on about the Electribe. Right, let's do this, shall we? Let's just go back to pattern 1. And at any time you can hit loop, you can hit slow, you can jump to patterns. If you're in loop mode, you can jump anywhere you like, okay? If you're not in loop mode, obviously it's just going to track through. Anyway, guys, bless you all. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Consider making a super chat or a super sticker or something like that before you go. And I will see you all hopefully tomorrow, if not Saturday. Need a day off soon. Anyway, top job, cool beans. I'll see you all later. Ta-ra. this would make a really good starting point for something else, wouldn't it, you know?